All right, well, I'm here with Bob Deering, who's a Lancaster County native and now a Lycoming Countyan. And
Since retirement.
well, welcome to this part of the world. Tell us your story. How did you get connected with this remote part of the world?
When I was a small person, 2-3 years old, my grandparents brought me up here to a hunting camp. Back in 1953, I believe I started coming up. And as time went on, I started hunting up here. And as time went on more yet, my father had the opportunity to purchase a piece of ground up here in the early 80s. And we did that. And then my father and I actually both worked for the same company in back then it was Bella, Pennsylvania when I started. We worked for the same company. I worked there 31 years, and I retired from there in 2001, and we started building this house up here in 2001, and I've been basically up here since then.
And there's an issue, with Okomo. Okomo is surrounded by state forest. Is that right?
Majority of the ground up here, I'd say, in our township, 85 to 90% of it, I think it's actually 89%, is owned by state forest or state game land. The biggest piece of ground that is private is actually right on the top of the hill,
right here
where we're at.
And so there's leases. The state says leased out land.
The state has leased on the backside of actually right in the back of my property. They've leased 10,000 acres of state forest ground.
So you're sort of surrounded by state leases.
Correct. And across Pine Creek, another drilling company has leased 35,000 acres.
Any idea how many well pads are in here so far?
According to what they've told us, there's 12 and they're working on the 13th, but I don't know how many wells they have drilled. As of last count, there was 30.
Just in this 10,000 acre piece?
Just in this piece here.
Okay.
They anticipate when they're done, they're going to have 125 wells.
And now there's a plan, and that's just for the Marcellus, is that right?
Correct.
So there's other layers, too, to get to eventually.
If they decide to do that route.
They will someday. So now there's an issue here with a private...
We have an issue right next door to us. The adjoining grounds me. One of the drilling company that's up here that has the ground lease wants to put in an industrial frack water treatment plant. It's a pretty good sized plant. The piece of ground that they're going to put it on is 31.5 acres. From what the initial plans that I've got, it's going to be 26.5 acres. Is going to be impervious surface where they're going to put this plant with a 7.5 million gallon frack pond, a 80 by 90 building that's supposed to be no more than 80 feet high, and they're going to have basically used frack water coming in to be treated to be able to be used to frack another well.
How will it come in? Pipes or trucks?
No, it's all trucks.
All trucks.
And there's nothing saying they can't bring this frack water from somewhere else in here to be treated. Any
idea how many truck trips per day or per
No
week?
idea. And according to the thing from the Planning Commission, it said that this is designed for, it's not a portable site, it's designed for an indefinite period of time.
And this borders your property?
Correct.
So you have 10,000 acres, but they need to put it right next to yours.
They're not allowed to put this building on state forest.
So they need to find a private landowner.
Correct.
And apparently they have.
Well, you got enough money, I guess you can do what you want.
So it's one of these situations where, thanks to the governor and the legislature's wisdom, so-called, people up here have no real...
We're pawns on a chessboard.
So you don't see any legal way to beat this?
Not unless there's a loophole that says, because, like I said, the treatment plant, they say, is an extension of the frack water pond, which, according to the environmental lawyer we had up here, said that's stretching it quite a bit.
So you can challenge it that way?
Yes.
And you will take that to the county?
If they decide to do something.
And then potentially to the court system if you have to.
Well, we'll go that route if we have to.
Thank you very much. I think the people in Lancaster will understand. And your argument is with this that...
It doesn't belong here. That's the whole thing in a nutshell. It belongs in an industrial... Actually, it doesn't belong anywhere. They've got to find another way to frack wells besides using water.